Hey guys, I'm Rob Bass, and this is Not Man Box. It's been a week since Toy Fair, and it's about time we reflect. It's like an intervention and preparation for the future of you not having any money whatsoever this year. So where do we start? Thundercats. Yeah, that's right. We're going with Thundercats first because of all the toys we saw at Toy Fair, nothing compares to the new Thundercats toys. Bandai was awesome enough to let us film and photograph and mark out and squeal like children at the new Thundercats toy line. 3 different toy lines. I mean, literally, you have the 4-inch scale, 6-inch scale, and the Thundercats Classic line. Sounds kind of familiar to another toy line. Yeah, that's right. The Thundercats Classic line is what you would consider the Master Universe Classics line. They're a larger scale, about 7 inches. They're about just the same scale as Master Universe Classics, and they sport the vintage look. So you know you have to buy them. Oh, and by the way, they're going to be $5 cheaper than a Master Universe toy, and they will be at retail. The Thundercats 4-inch line is their main line. This is where you're going to be able to get the Thundercats playsets, the Tower of Omens, the Thunder Tank, the Thunder Bike thing, and a bunch of other awesome accessories. The figures sport the new cartoon look. The difference between the 4-inch line and the 6-inch line is basically just size. They're the identical figures from the 4-inch line, but they sport a couple more points of articulation. And I have to admit that I don't know which one I want to get. The 4-inch line, I can get the playsets, which the playsets are awesome. Or I get the 6-inch line, which will probably not have any playsets, but they'll be pretty cool figures. It's a tough decision. I might just have to buy all of them. Jumping from Thundercats, Bandai also showed off Ben 10. I don't watch Ben 10. I'm not gonna lie and say I do, but they have this collector's vinyl line, which is these Ben 10 when he transforms into these monster things, and they look amazing. Not many points of articulation, but they're pretty cool. The guy who actually demonstrated all the Ben 10 stuff actually knew what he was talking about, and actually he was having more fun than anybody else. So he actually almost made me want to buy Ben 10 toys. Almost. And last but not least is the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers. We get the chick from the first series, Rita, finally in toy form. Even though she's not in scale with your vintage Power Rangers toys, at least you get her. That's what he said. At least you get her. And they showed off a bunch of other stuff, but I don't really like Power Rangers, so I'm just going to leave that to Scotty Cash. Leaving Bandai, because there's nothing else at Bandai we care about. And we'll go straight to Matty Collector's room. Toy Guru was like a jumping bean. He was all over the place. He was demonstrating the Green Lantern giant ring activation figure that I don't know. It's a light bright. It just lights up, and Ryan Reynolds speaks the oath of the Green Lantern Corps. Sorry, Toy Guru, I really don't want this thing. It looks hideous. On the other side of the room, they had the Justice League figures, the Young Justice, some DC figures, but you've seen those a million times before. And immediately to your left, when you're in the Matty Collector room, you see gigantic amounts of WWE action figures. Does anybody buy wrestling figures anymore? I mean, they gave me a bunch of free ones, but I haven't bought one. Not worth it. Unless you like Dolph Ziggler. There you go. The whole reason you go to Matty Collector is to go and see the Master Universe toys. They showed off King Hiss, which we all knew about, and Panther, which we've seen before. Battle Armor Skeletor, which looks great, but it's just Battle Armor Skeletor. The figures that really got us, the ones that we were surprised to see, like Megator. He's going to make Titus look like a joke. By far, he's the better of the 2 figures, and I can't wait to get my hands on him. Clawful looks like Clawful. A lot of people don't like him, but he's Clawful. That's what he looks like, the vintage toy. We get the faceless one, which is awesome, even though he actually has a sculpted face. We'll let it go, because the figure's awesome. Catra, probably one of the best looking female figures they have with a Filmation look and a traditional toy look. I cannot wait to get her. They showed off Cyclone, but we already seen Cyclone. We know what Cyclone's coming with, and he looks cool. He's Cyclone. He's a blue guy. Man-E-Faces. Now this is a figure a lot of people have been waiting for. So they show off Man-E-Faces, and the first thing I notice is that he doesn't look like the vintage toy. He looks like the mini comic first prototype image, which is by far, I feel, the better of any Man-E-Face ever. Problem is, you guys get to vote on the color scheme. Do you want to have the orange like the vintage toy? Do you want to have the skin tone like the vintage image? Or a hybrid? Guys, please just vote for the skin because it looks better. Please, for me. One more thing they showed off that I thought was just absolutely gorgeous is blonde bikini Teela. Sorry, battleground Teela. The face sculpt, the body structures, the new female buck, it's amazing. This is a figure I cannot wait to own. She comes with her gun and sword from the vintage comic from DC Comics. This is a little extra nod that they didn't have to do, but it's freaking perfect. If you don't buy any Masters figure, buy this Teela. It's worth it. So we get to Shaka Toys. And Shaka promises me, they told me to my face, that we are getting Mr. Gon. Finally. I've been waiting over 2 years for Mr. Gon. They said we're supposed to get him. Not gonna hold my breath. But if they ever get these figures released, I want the Phantom. I need that character. That's an awesome looking toy. If we ever get it. Shocker. Everyone's expecting these toys. They have a lot of faith in you. Just get us what we need. This is ridiculous waiting so long for toys. But we want them, so guess what? You have to wait. Dan and Ito checked out Jazzware's booth, and we weren't allowed to photograph it, but they showed off Mortal Kombat and Street Fighter 3 3/4 inch action figures to go along your G.I. Joe line, and these sculpts are perfect. You're gonna want to buy all these, because you know what? I want Sub-Zero to be hanging out with the Dreadnoks with my G.I. Joe toys, so let's get those Jazzwares figures now. Then we went over to the Mezco booth and we saw the Living Dead dolls, which is their bread and butter. They showed off their new line of South Park figures, which is cute because they look just like the cartoon. They have new Big Little Planet figures. They have a 9-inch build your own Big Little Planet dude. They have their little Mezco Dunny looking figures, which are their DC line. And of course, they have their 1,000-inch tall Lion-O. Okay, he's like 20 inches with sword. It's a vintage classic Lion-O, and they have the rights to do gigantic Thundercats toys. So if you have a mansion and plenty of ceiling space, you can buy the Thundercats in 15-inch tall figures. Maybe put them in wrestling outfits and make some money off of them. We went to this small little booth that was right next to Jazzwares, and these guys had these small $100 statues, and they were showing off Dark Crystal stuff. So they have, you know, the Gelfling jumping on top, trying to throw the shard into the Dark Crystal, and he did mention that it did not have a slot to stick the shard in, so they got to fix that. They had Jareth from Labyrinth, David Bowie's character. Very cool statue. And the Gelfling's all kind of, oh, I'm holding her, she's kind of dying from the movie. So hopefully these will come out and someone's going to buy them. On Saturday before Toy Fair, Hasbro holds their own little thing in Times Square. They showed off Transformers, Star Wars, and G.I. Joe. What else do you want, right? With the G.I. Joe stuff, they talked about Pursuit of Cobra, the new Renegades line, and their exclusives they're getting, which is, we're getting Sky Striker painted as Starscream. Comes with a Cobra Commander that holds a Megatron as the Walter P-38, man from Uncle Gun. If you don't know the cartoons or the comic book crossovers, you have no idea what this is about. This is a complete comic book crossover, and Transformers and G.I. Joe crossed over. You get that. Okay, yeah, the Sky Striker doesn't actually transform, but who cares? It looks like Starscream. Yeah, exactly. Now you can talk about the more Iron Man toys. You can talk about the Thor movie. I don't care about any of that, because all I care about is the Captain America stuff. They have a shield that shoots discs. They have a frisbee shield that you can just throw at people. Now that's what I want. I want to throw a shield at people. That is a toy. They They have dress-up costumes. They have movie-accurate figures and comic book accurate figures. So we're getting U.S. Agent. We're going to get Crossbones and tons of Chris Evans as Captain America. He's going to come with like a tank, a jeep, a parachute, a 10-inch version of the figure. You name it, they're going to have it. And I can't wait because I'm going to lose a lot of money on eBay. Captain America. Yes. Overall, Toy Fair had lots of booths, lots of guys showing off things. NECA showed off stuff. No Playmates, but, you know, they're pretty much dead. So, guys, what is your favorite reveal at Toy Fair? If you haven't seen all the images, go to popculturenetwork.com. Check out all the images from Toy Fair. Go to the forums and let us know. And remember, guys, they're your toys. Play with them the way you want.